back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television. A reminder of our major stories. Nigeria Labour Congress pickets MTN headquarters and the office of FCT Environmental Board in Abuja over alleged anti-labour practices. Activities paralyzed in Benue State hospitals as doctors withdraw services from the facilities. State government accuses NMA of professional misconduct. Another Nigerian shot dead in South Africa over 7,500 naira parking lot debt. And protests erupt across cities in Russia as pro-opposition groups demand the resignation of President Vladimir Putin. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Talking about pictures, here are some of them you sent into our Eyewitness portal today. We begin with this one from Ikoyi Victoria Island Bridge in Lagos, showing a walkway which has been blocked by a traffic warding box, forcing pedestrians to compete with cars on the main bridge. Our Eyewitness reporter says concerned authorities should advise the police to remove the box to avoid subjecting pedestrians to danger. And next is this image from Delta State showing a flooded street. Eyewitness reporter says this is as a result of a poor drainage system and is calling on the state government to fix it. We move on to this picture of a bad road along the Benin-Auchi-Ekpoma Road in Edo State, showing the terrible condition of this road. Eyewitness reporter laments the trouble motorists go through daily and is calling on the government for immediate intervention. And our final picture shows a multiple accident scene in Agbara, Ogun State. Eyewitness reporter says this is as a result of the bad state of the road and is asking government for help. Thank you so much for sending in those pictures, and we do encourage you to keep them coming. Things may be difficult in Nigeria at the moment, but for the Vice President, the All Progressive Congress government is on a quest to get the country back on track. For this reason, Professor Osinbajo is optimistic that the current challenges will not affect the party's chances come 2019. That's what he told our political correspondent, Seun Okinbaloye, in Abuja. He also touched on the ongoing audit of the operations of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC.
By asking you, there are beliefs that about half of corruption which goes on in government in Nigeria happens in the NNPC. And under this administration, there are reports. Have you gotten any reports about investigation in the NNPC?
Well, first, let me say that this government has, from beginning, carried on a thorough investigation of activities in the NNPC, and it's ongoing. As a matter of fact, we also agreed with the governors. Don't forget that the proceeds of oil are not just owned by the federal government, they're also owned by the governors, owned by the states, beg your pardon, not just by the federal government. So what we've done is that in the NEC, that's the National Economic Council, we actually constituted a committee that was charged with investigating all of the activities of the NNPC, especially questions around proceeds and all of that. And that committee hired some of the best auditing firms. So a forensic audit is going on. They've submitted an interim report and we're expecting a final report soon. So for the government, it's important that we investigate the whole, the entire processes of the NNPC, and we'll continue to do that.
Do you think the APC can win any election in 2019?
Of course. Why not? Why would APC, let me say first of all that APC is a revolutionary party. We've come to do so many things that are revolutionary. Now that process by itself is a difficult process. There's no way you're going to clean the stable, you're going to fix this car with the engine running, and that's what we're doing. We've got to fix this car, this Nigeria, while the engine is running. It's a difficult task, but we're committed. And we have an honest president. That's a very important thing. If you have a president who is honest, who is straightforward, who at least you can say is not taking a bribe, is not stealing resources, that is a major part of this whole revolution. Because Nigeria, in my view, the most difficult problem we have, the existential problem we have is corruption. If we can deal with that governance issue, if we can deal with that corruption issue, this country will fly, and that's what we're trying to do.
Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Meanwhile, he'll be speaking about what makes Africa work at this year's Africa Summit on Sunday, October the 8th in London. He'll discuss the increasing economic prospects on the continent and give details on the progress of the Buhari administration, especially through the federal government's medium-term economic recovery and growth plan. The summit, which is hosted by the Financial Times of London, is a global forum reputed as one of the leading conferences in the world on African business and economic matters. To politics now. As Anambra State prepares for the November the 18th governorship elections, the National Orientation Agency, NOA, and the German Foundation has been creating awareness on telling some voters and political parties on how to ensure a free, fair and credible election in the state. The agency has also been meeting with security agencies and other concerned persons to discuss critical issues that will aid the smooth conduct of the process.
The governorship election in Anambra State is drawing near, and activities towards the successful conduct of the polls are already in top gear. The National Orientation Agency is the body empowered by government to enlighten voters and key players about their civic duties ahead of the polls. This gathering in Awka, the Anambra State capital, is one of such meetings where emphasis is made on the need for a credible election, promotion of issue-based campaigns, and avoidance of hate speeches.
We want to see a state, Anambra State this time around, where users will be willing to contribute positively to the progress of the state, where ruling party will carry others along in order to achieve success, where there will be unity, cooperation, and culture of dialogue among the various political parties.
The agenda is to set the rough edges straight by sensitizing security agencies, the media and civil society groups on what to do and how to work together to make the conduct of the election hitch-free.
The police must perform the following roles. 1. Provide security at the polling stations to ensure that accreditation, counting, collation of results are done smoothly.
In its desire to ensure free and fair elections, first of all, change all the management staff of INEC Anambra State, from the REC, the Administrative Secretary, to all the electoral officers in each of the 21 local government areas. That's the first step.
The NOA and its German partners are not only concerned about the conduct of the polls, they also want to be sure of the safety of voters and electoral officers during the polls. They are asking for an election that will be conducted devoid of violence and political rancor, and one way to achieve this is to continue to sensitize the electorate.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, has attributed some of the contemporary practices that violate the dignity of man to ignorance and absence of proper and functional education. The Sultan was speaking at the 57th Founders' Day of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which had some governors from the southeast in attendance. The governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, was presented with the Dignity of Man Award.
According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, the results of a survey carried out in 2015 showed that despite improvements in Nigeria's education system, 65 million citizens remain illiterate. Efforts being made to redress this problem is the matter up for discourse at this gathering of dignitaries at the 57th Founders' Day of the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. In attendance are the Delta State Governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, his Enugu State counterpart, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, and the former Governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, among other dignitaries. For the Sultan, quality education is essential to fast-track the country's development, as Governor Ugwuanyi reflects on founding of UNN.
Our real enemy is not the other tribe or the other religion. Our real enemy, indeed the enemy of the dignity of man, is ignorance. We must all rise to eliminate ignorance. We must kindle the light of knowledge in order to vanish the darkness of ignorance.
The university was inaugurated in the same year and month of Nigerian independence, a milestone towards restoring the dignity of Nigerians and Africans. Instructively, although the UNN and indeed the nation have worked tirelessly to bring this vision to fruition the past 57 years, the task to restore the dignity of man remains unarmed today and as it was yesterday. To surely be apt tomorrow, because the restoration of the dignity of man is not an event, but a progressive journey.
Governor Okowa, who is the special guest of honor, stresses the need to educate Nigerians on population control to reduce the number of out-of-school children.
Those people who are uninformed are not knowledgeable enough, and eventually in the poverty bracket, they are the people that produce the greatest number of children. Some of them will have 8, 10, and they cannot cater for them. And the elite, those of us who are up there, we do not want to begin to carry out advocacy for population control. And nobody is talking about it. And as long as we plan in this nation without having a means or a process in place of controlling our population, we are planning on nothing. The foundation is faulty.
Next, the university honors Governor Okowa with the Dignity of Man Award, according to the institution, for pioneering policy reforms and inclusive transformation of Delta State. As reported by UNESCO, illiteracy is a major concern in Nigeria, which is one of the world's most populous countries, with an estimated population of over 180 million people.
Over 200 businesses in Anambra State are expected to take part in the second trade exhibition holding from October the 13th. The Association of Anambra State Chambers of Commerce is optimistic that the event will expose the business opportunities available to potential investors.
Anambra State is gearing up for the second edition of the trade fair, which is focused on agriculture this year. Following the success of its first edition in 2016, the Association of Anambra State Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture invited over 200 businesses in preparation for the fair. Governor Willie Obiano is hoping for more homeward investment and is willing to back that up with the power of the state.
We've made bold efforts to bring our illustrious sons and daughters together on the altar of brotherhood. The stakeholders sessions that we held in Lagos, Abuja and Port Harcourt in recent times have shown me that the Anambra outside our homeland are ready and willing to play their own role in ongoing efforts to build a better state. As a government, we know what our people expect from us, and we are not relenting on our efforts to surpass the expectations of Anambra.
The president of the Nnewi branch of the Chambers reports that the association has strengthened its partnership with the state government towards the success of the exhibition, scheduled to last for 2 weeks.
The Anambra Trade Fair showed itself as an important economic event. Indeed, the most significant trade show east of the Niger. Agents and trade representatives government and international agencies, service providers, and other participants have been invited from across the nation and beyond and are already taking up positions for the fair. We promise them all a most rewarding trade fair experience.
The State Commissioner for Market, Trade and Wealth Creation says preparation for infrastructure is in the final stages.
The Ekweme Square, where we did it last year, so many things are happening there to put certain facilities that make the tourists, the exhibitors, to make them comfortable when they come.
The trade fair is scheduled to commence on the 13th of October 2017.
When the news at 10 returns, rural farmers across Nigeria to benefit from federal government initiative to boost agriculture with soft loans and processing mills. Join us again.